The United States Senate had its shortest impeachment proceeding in history today, thanks to the rank incompetence of Republican freshman Senator Eric Schmitt of Missouri. Eric Schmitt decided to object to a unanimous consent agreement requested by Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, an agreement worked out with Republican leader Mitch McConnell about how to proceed with the impeachment proceeding, something that the leaders always do with every impeachment proceeding. The rules are always different for every impeachment proceeding. And Eric Schmitt decided he had a smarter idea, and so he refused to agree to the unanimous consent request by Senator Schumer, whereupon Senator Schumer said, okay, then let's just vote to dismiss the whole case right now, which is essentially what they did after going through a few procedural votes on the Senate floor, thrown up there desperately and hopelessly by other Republicans like Eric Schmitt. The whole thing took a few hours. That was the end of it. There was no debate. Senator Schumer was offering the Republicans hours of debate. All of that was cut off by the idiocy of Republican Senator Eric Schmitt, a freshman who had no idea what he was doing on the Senate floor today. And so the Senate voted along party lines on the motion to dismiss and closed the book on the single most absurd impeachment case ever sent to the United States Senate, the so-called impeachment of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. That's all over. Meanwhile, in the House of Representatives, a vote is not yet scheduled on a series of bills introduced to fund urgent aid for Ukraine and Israel.
The time has come for the House of Representatives to act, and act decisively in America's national security interest. This is a Churchill or Chamberlain moment. We can either confront Russian aggression in defense of democracy, or we can allow the pro-Putin extreme MAGA Republicans to appease it.
Joining our discussion now is Democratic Congressman Daniel Goldman of New York. He's a member of the House Oversight Committee and a former member of the House Majority Council. He was the House Majority Counsel for the first impeachment investigation of Donald Trump. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. I know in your own experience in investigations on impeachment, I can imagine how absurd it was to watch what was going on in the House of Representatives. Chuck Schumer got that impeachment material today, looked at it, said to the Senate, this is unconstitutional. It does not present, even refer to in the slightest, any crime or misdemeanor of any kind. And so he went for that motion to dismiss. And of course, it was gone as quickly as we all expected it to be when the Republicans in the House were working on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a very fitting end to what is a shameful, shameful moment in the history of the House of Representatives. Even if you accept the allegations in the articles of impeachment, they do not rise to a level of any crime or misdemeanor, much less a high crime and misdemeanor. And of course, there is actually no evidence to support the allegations that they have. And so the only proper outcome was not to legitimize this clearly partisan political effort to help Donald Trump's election campaign by putting an impeachment on someone other than Donald Trump. And that's all this was about. As Secretary Mayorkas was negotiating a border security bill in the Senate, the House was impeaching him for failing to address the border. It does not get any more hypocritical than that. And the Senate did the right thing by the Constitution today, not because of partisan politics or anything else, but the Constitution cannot withstand this kind of abuse by the House Republicans, nor should it. And Chuck Schumer, Majority Leader Schumer, and the Senate Democrats absolutely did the right thing, because this impeachment should never be legitimized.
But it is one of the only things that the House of Representatives has actually voted on, that the Republican majority has actually passed. They've done nothing on aid to Israel, nothing on aid to Ukraine.
Yeah, they passed it after 2 attempts, let's not forget. They failed the first time, and then just by 1 vote the second time. But I'm optimistic, Lawrence. We now have in front of us effectively the Senate border security bill, or rather the Senate foreign aid bill that was passed a number of weeks ago and has been languishing in the House as Ukraine has been dwindling in its ammunition and its ability to withstand Russia. I cannot emphasize enough to you how vital and urgent this aid is for Ukraine, at first and foremost, because they are out of ammunition and Russia is making moves and pushing forward. Ukraine can win this war, as it had been doing prior to our delay in support, but they will lose this war if they do not get our support. And I am optimistic that we will be able to pass this bill on Saturday. I frankly applaud Speaker Johnson for doing the right thing in the face of a lot of opposition from the party of Putin, which is the majority now of the House Republican Party.
New York Congressman Dan Goldman, thank you very much for joining our discussion tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.